Okay, so for this week, I have switched over to my laptop to finish completing this project. Some of the issues I was facing on the desktop, I was not getting much progress in figuring out what was my problem with getting Elasticsearch to function in the browser correctly. So I have been building, well, I installed and set up Suricata the same way on this computer before, just in case I ran into any issues and had to switch over to a different computer. Um, so this one is now much further than the other project on my other computer. So we were able to configure FileBeat and get that to work correctly. We've got like our var paths for like the Eve JSON. So um, we've set up our Elasticsearch output for my Ubuntu machine. We had to, where is it? Fix one of the issues in the network settings where it was originally set to NAT by default, and we wanted to assign IP addresses to both of our Kali Linux and the Ubuntu machine so that they can communicate with each other. Um, so where I noticed on both computers the default IP address that VirtualBox assigns is 10.0.2.15, which works for the most part to access the internet and do stuff like that. But uh, the issue was when I set up the Kali Linux, it had the same IP address. And so therefore we couldn't really send a ping from the Kali Linux to the Ubuntu machine, and then we wouldn't be able to send any of our attacks. Um, so as we can see, I've configured, um, it has the ENP0S8 also connected. It works fine if I disconnect that. We're mainly focused on the ENP0S3, which is this IP address right here. That is the IP that we used with the uh, when we were on the Kali Linux machine to ping and run a port scan on the Ubuntu machine to see if we generate some logs. So let me find that picture in my screenshots. Okay, so we can see I did a ping. I sent 4 pings to the address. They went, they were received. And so we also did a port scan with Nmap just to see if we can log it. And our fast log is picking up the port scan now. Let me switch over to this one so we can see our fast log is logging things in real time with our emerging threat rule set, the open version. Um, so we can see stuff has been generated. We still have our Suricata rule set that we've also configured for when we were doing our testing. Okay. So we have our stuff for a DOS attack up here, our brute force attack, uh, our port scan alert, which we can see that one we have tested and that one works. Because when we go over to our screenshot, screenshot. See, we get the same alert, the port scan detected. Okay, and let's see what else. Our Elasticsearch YAML file. I have essentially the same configuration as I did on my desktop, so I'm not really sure where the issue was happening on my desktop, but we can now, I'll just open up a new window. So when we navigate to our IP address in the browser with the port 5601, which is what we configured Elasticsearch to run on, or sorry, Kibana to run on. Elasticsearch runs on the 9200. And we can see I have it set up as HTTP. I was trying to set it up with HTTPS, but I was having some issues with the SSL. And I think for the purposes of our project, it'll be fine to just use HTTP. So we can go to our alerts. And let's select everything in the last 7 days. Okay. And now we can see this big spike was from our port scan. So we have some data that is visualized. We've got our dashboard set up. So these are the alerts. We can go over to events as well. And we can see some information regarding our security events. Okay. And let me see what else. I have a couple other screenshots from our users page. We can see we had our authentications succeed. Oh, sorry. This big spike is actually when we ran the curl command for testmynids.org. So this was simulating a GPL attack response. And so that's what our giant spike is from when we tested that. Okay, and that's just more screenshots of our dashboard. And I believe that is everything we have for this week. We just need now to run our DOS, our test for our DOS attack and some of the other attacks that are listed in our proposal. All right.